Welcome to TV3 News Journal. I'm Carla Beard. The Summer Discovery Program has been a valuable learning experience for several years at Roberts Park. We spoke with one of the new directors, Scott Caldwell, and with Park Superintendent Catherine Good about plans for this summer.
Summer Discovery is going to run very similar to how it's run in the past. So the dates and times will remain the same. We'll still be open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. All the costs are the same. But what we've really changed this year, we think, are two really big improvements. The first is an internal change where we have adopted an app where we can better track the payroll aspect of camp. And how that translates to parents is it's going to give Scott and our other directors lots more time with your kids. So they're going to be able to really focus on the kids, focus on activities, instead of focusing on paperwork and things like that as far as scheduling people goes. The other huge change that I'm very excited about is a second app called Hi Mama. Lots of moms might be familiar with it because it's the same app that the aftercare program uses with the school corporation.
We're working really hard right now to make sure that we've got a lot of organization and structure to it. Not so much that it's going to be, regimented and things with that, but we want to understand what we're doing. We can kind of plan ahead. So we're going to have times where we're going to be able to go to the pool, or we're going to be able to go to the movies, but we've also got a number of guest speakers and people coming in to do activities and things with them. So we've got some stuff about the outdoors and nature. We've got some stuff with nutrition, and there's several other groups that we're talking to from the community and surrounding areas to come in that just have interesting things going on in their life. They may be coming in just once to talk to them. Some of them are doing things on a weekly basis with them as well. The library is going to be coming and doing some crafts with them, and they'll have their new bookmobile is the plan that it'll be there. And so those kids, we can actually kind of partner in a way with the library that they can be a part of their summer reading program, and some of that interaction can be done while they're there with us, with the Discovery kids. So we've got a good community interaction going with that.
We will be taking registrations the first part of April, and it's very important for moms and dads and guardians to remember that we take registrations all summer long. So camp is open until the first Friday before school starts, which I believe is August the 5th this year. But we can take campers all summer, so there is no true deadline to register, so never feel like you're too late.
I think we're just really excited about the opportunities to be able to provide help to the parents and the guardians during the summer. I know I've got 4 kids, and sometimes it can be rough figuring out what you're going to do when you've got work and the kids and the school's not in session. And this is a chance for them to be able to interact with other kids their age and other ages around them, and to learn and grow and have a lot of fun.
We are taking incoming first graders, so if your child is coming into first grade, they are old enough, and if they are coming into 6th grade, they are old enough. So if they're going on to junior high, they've aged out, and if they're kindergartners, they aren't quite old enough yet. I'm just really most excited for our new directors. Honestly, I think they're going to bring such a good energy with Scott. Like he said, having taught for 20 years, and Ben Mays works as an assistant at Eastview, and Nathan's been at the park since he was in 7th grade. So they just have so much energy, and I just know it's going to be such a positive summer. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Registration opens early in April, once the apps are ready. You know how it is when you're breaking in new technology. Please be patient. The Parks Department is also planning a fun family event with games and the Easter Bunny. Here's Catherine Good with more.
I'm Catherine Good, and I am the superintendent of the Parks Department. And we are having a Easter Spring Fling on April the 7th from 5 to 8 at the Miller Building. Everything will be inside, so nobody has to worry about like the snow we had last year. If you came out for our Easter egg hunt and in your winter hat, we won't have to worry about that. Everything will be indoors. Everything is free, so no need to even bring your wallet. We will be having some free concessions like popcorn and cookies. We're going to be having another healthy snack to teach the kids maybe some healthy habits while they're there too. We'll have prizes. We have some really great sponsors for prizes like Showtime Cinemas, Pizza King on the south side. We have prizes like a pool pass from the park, and we also have some packages from Plaza Lanes. So it's going to be really good fun. We're going to have lots of activities, so you can dress up for the holiday and you can get your picture taken with the Easter Bunny. Sammy the squirrel will also be there for photo ops as well. We're hoping to have a little petting zoo with some spring animals like little chicks and bunny rabbits, so the kids can learn more about those animals. And then we're also going to have some activities like planting a seed, because it's springtime. It's time to start thinking about gardening, probably a craft of some kind. Just lots of free, fun activities to spend the evening with your family.
April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. We spoke with Sherry Tandy about the Fayette County CASA program.
Court-appointed special advocates for children in court. And we are a voice for the children that have been in this system through no fault of their own, through either child abuse or neglect. And most of the cases that we see are, if you see any child abuse and neglect, is the main reason. And that could be a lot of things. And as you know, many communities are going through the drug issues. And we still are. I know we had the drug task force here a while back, and it was really top news, but it's still in the community. And there are still children, that are involved in that. We have domestic violence, so it's not always a physical abuse case, but it's abuse and neglect. CASA is here to make sure that these children's voices are heard in court. Not all children are old enough to articulate their needs. So CASA is, once they go through the training, which is a 30-hour training, we first do interviews, we have them fill out applications, we do background checks, we do interviews, we have a 30-hour training, and then after they've got a year in, every year after that, they get 12 continuing education hours added on. So there's a lot that goes into it. CASAs don't have to be from any particular walk of life. I could not tell you who is going to be a good fit for CASA. It's not a good fit for everybody. It's very hands-on, it's very involved, it's going to take some of your time. We ask that anybody that takes a case stay on that case till it's closed. We work alongside the court, DCS, providers, trying to find permanency and structure and stability for these kids. So everybody works together as a team. But CASA comes to that team with a totally different perspective, because CASA comes to that team thinking what is in the best interest of this child and everything that affects that child. So we're really looking hard for people that want to be committed and want to join this CASA family. I always tell everybody we're small, but we are mighty. So we together work as a team. I supervise them, I train, and then I support everybody. So it's very important, because these are families in crisis. And we need to remember that it is all confidential. This is a family that is in need, and we're here to help them. And we're here to help that child.
The annual Connersville High School Art Show opened April 4th at the Fayette County Public Library. We spoke with Principal Randy Judd, with art teacher Kathleen Boyer, and with a couple of the student artists.
Here I am at the annual CHS Art Show at the Connersville Library. I can tell anyone that this is something you don't want to miss. I get to see the kids work on a daily basis because they often put it in the showcases at the school. But I did get to see a few items today that I haven't seen before, and as always, I'm blown away by their talents.
I just love doing this art show. There's a couple of reasons. One of them is that we haven't been able to have a full showing like this in the past 2 years because of COVID. COVID year, we didn't have it at all. 2020, 2021, we had the show, but we couldn't have like an open house because we're still under restrictions. So this first year, kind of get back to normal. We got a full group of people in there enjoying their time. And it's just great to showcase the kids' art. They work really hard all year and do a wonderful job.
This year, only art class I've taken this year is advanced 3D art. I've taken drawing and advanced drawing, I think.
Like, I've always kind of did art, but like just recently I've gotten into it like more. I usually just like drawing like with pencil and then like coloring in with alcohol markers.
it's always a pleasure to come down here. And sometimes the kids who are the artists are standing beside you and you don't know it, and that makes it fun when you make a comment about their work.
The show is free to the public. It closes at the end of April. Have you noticed the blue pinwheels around town? They are reminders that April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. Jenny McCarroll and Kathy Hobson shared information about an event scheduled for April 12th.
Well, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and here in Fayette County we have a Child Abuse Prevention Council. It's our PCA group, Prevent Child Abuse. And every year in the month of April, we try to do an event to raise awareness in the community about the importance of child abuse prevention. So we're having a drive-through event on April 12th from 4 to 6 at Grandview Elementary School. And families can drive through and they will receive a bag with all the ingredients and the recipe on how to make a meal. We partnered with the Fayette County Food Council and they came up with a recipe and the ingredients for that. They'll also receive kind of a one-page resource with different information about programs and services available in the community. Each bag will also contain a free kids meal for Texas Roadhouse. I forgot to tell you about that. We got those. And there'll also be a job fair component. So Eastern Indiana Works, formerly known as Work One, has organized some job resources. So there's going to be about 4 employers on site available to talk with parents, kind of weave through the cars and have those conversations if someone's interested in applying for a job. And they'll also receive a one-page guide with information about jobs that are currently available in the area if they're interested in applying for something like that.
Well, so for the prevention event, we focus on it in April, but it's something that my office focuses on year-round. We investigate child abuse and neglect, and then we also help with families that we don't find child abuse and neglect to get them over to community partners where they can help with the prevention. And so Jenny's office provides that piece. But so just, to help all the kids in Fayette County and all over, no matter where it's at, in Indiana, everybody is a mandated reporter. So if you see something that you feel that's not right, if you call the hotline, that's 800-800-5556, and just report those acts that you feel that you're not sure, and then that takes the burden off of you. So if we don't know, we go. And that's kind of like how, we handle things. So with the job fair, there's openings for case managers in Fayette County and Wayne County. Mm-hmm. So, and we are looking for family case managers. You need a bachelor's degree, and then we do some on-site training to get them what they need to learn. So we have openings for that, but there'll be some other employers there to help with it, because that's what we kind of decided this year. Not only is it, we want to bring awareness to child abuse and neglect and the prevention, but we have so many people who need a job and so many employers who need employees. So we thought we could add that component with it, and it would be a win-win for everybody.
Well, a couple things I forgot to mention about the drive-through event. The library is donating some new children's books, so we'll have a variety for different age groups that they'll also receive a children's book that day as well. There's going to be an Easter bunny available, passing out eggs and candy and kind of hopping from car to car to see the kiddos and give them those things. So just a couple of those things I forgot to mention. But the other thing that we do in April is we plant pinwheel gardens in the community. The blue pinwheel is the national symbol for child abuse prevention. So that's why you see the blue pinwheels out in the community. So if anyone's interested in having a pinwheel garden at their home or business, they can contact our office, the Children's Bureau or the local Department of Child Services office, and we can get that for them. So if you see those around town, that's kind of what it is for. The pinwheel, as it spins, it just kind of stands for just livelihood and joyfulness, and it's kind of the symbol for what we want for all children, just to kind of have a carefree childhood. And so the different things that we try to do, we have this event because we want to resource families, and we just want people to know what's available. Parenting is a hard job, and we want people to know that there are services and people in the community that are available to help if they need some support with it.
Reporter Sabrina Gavin spoke to the owner of Hypnodelic about why and how this local business was started.
Hi, I'm Amber Killian, a woman business owner here in Connersville, Hypnodelic store. We've been open since September of 2020, and so about a year and a half. The first 3 months we were over on 30th Street, and then we moved over here at 301 West 6th Street. The reason that I started this business is it was COVID. My husband, where he worked at, they ended up closing up, and so COVID was a very scary time for everybody. So we just tried to figure out something to do. I was trying to figure out how I could help and pay our bills and everything. So we had a little bit of savings, and I decided to just kind of try to open up something we started with incense and burners, basically, incense burners. And then just listen to the customers and people that would come in, and they would request things and they were looking for things. So we started ordering all kinds of different things. And the business just grew, and we get more and more people in here all the time. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to come in and ask. We try to be very knowledgeable about everything that we sell. So yeah, stop by and see us at 301 West 6th Street.
A reminder, Highway 44 between Connersville and Liberty is closed until the end of summer for bridge work over the Whitewater River. Traffic can reroute using county roads. Please use caution. Thank you for joining TV3 News Journal. Here's Brad Coulter looking back. Good night.
Hi, I'm Brad Coulter, and this is Looking Back. Anthony Locke helped build Connersville. To Jeff and Howard Locke, he was known as Uncle Anthony. To local historians, he is known as the man that built the second biggest pool in the state of Indiana in Connersville. As it turns out, there is so much more to this story. In 1915, Connersville had only one major problem. There were more people trying to move into the city than there were homes for them to live in. If the city was going to continue to grow, someone would have to step forward with a plan to help build hundreds of homes, neighborhoods, and develop the northern areas of Connersville. Anthony Locke was born in Vevay, Indiana on December 9, 1884. As a youngster, he moved with his family north to Connersville. He started his work career as a machinist for the Roots Blower Company. During this time, he purchased his very first lot from Colonel James Roberts. He later said that the down payment was $1. He had 75 cents and needed to borrow the other quarter. This deal was the basis for a program he would use later to get many working people into their own homes. In 1915, he resigned his position and, as he told it, went to work for Anthony Locke. That year, he built his first house and right away 3 more. In 1916, he sold and built a couple of dozen more, and in 1917, 50 more, and then 100 or so in 1918. In January 1919, it almost came to an end as an influenza epidemic nearly took his life, but luckily for Connersville, he survived. That year, he opened a new office at 16th and Western Avenue for his company, Locke Realty. His ads all proclaimed Connersville as the best little city in the world. And this year, he built about 175 homes and was on his way. He bought an insurance company and started the National Realty Company to help sell his lots and land holdings. In 1920, he purchased most of the land between 24th and 32nd Streets that was then known as the Teviston Road. He immediately began to develop the land and divide it into lots and build homes on it in the area known as Cloverdale. In 1922, his company became the Finance and Development Company, and he was busy building on the area of Hillcrest, which is north of 21st Street on the west side of the canal. His grand idea here was to hold a second mortgage on the land as long as the buyer could finance the construction. With the local economy booming, this allowed renters to become homeowners. He was quickly successful in selling this area and moved farther to the north. Anthony's next venture was an area that's name has been lost to the ages, but it was then called Harrison Park. This was from 27th Street to 30th Street and from Park Road west to Western. These homes were restricted to a 30-foot setback from the road, and houses had to at least cost $3,500. This was quite a lot considering annual wages were only around $1,000. This was at the time Connersville's finest, most modern neighborhood. On July 4th, 1925, Anthony Locke opened the second largest swimming pool in Indiana. It was also one of the biggest in the country. Before that time, most people in the city were still swimming in the river or ponds. The pool, located near 22nd Street and Whitewater Boulevard, was 75 feet wide and 225 feet long. For 15 years, it was the rage until the first park pool opened. The park pool was built with funds provided by the WPA. Anthony Locke was quite a character, and during the early 1920s, he made front-page news by being part of a couple of sensational divorces. It seems that the front page of the newspaper made it everyone's business by reporting these matters to the public. I must say it made for some entertaining reading. In business, though, Anthony continued to be a hero to the residents of our city by building hundreds of homes up through the first couple of years of the Great Depression, when the bottom fell out of the economy. During the early 1930s, Anthony went to work for the FHA and eventually was an auditor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. It was during this period that Jeff Locke, former Connersville police chief and today a city councilman in Richmond, tells us that Anthony had a run-in with John Dillinger. Anthony was on the road near Wabash when he was held up by the famous bank robber. Dillinger also took off in Anthony's car, but was good enough to tell Locke where he would leave the car. True to his word, Dillinger left the vehicle just where he said and in good condition. Anthony lived in Connersville at 328 West 15th Street and also made a home at 1410 Grand Avenue for many years. His offices were located at 17th and the Western and downtown at 609 and a half Central. Anthony Locke retired about 1945 and moved to Vero Beach, Florida with his wife Helen. He lived there 5 years and was a part of the Vero Beach Local Planning Commission and Board of Zoning. He also sold real estate there in semi-retirement. Anthony Locke died on July 8, 1950 in Florida. His wife Helen lived there another 29 years until her death in 1979. Anthony was a true champion for the little guy, and thanks to him, many families were put on a path to prosperity. He never made a fortune personally, because he continued to invest in Connersville until the market crash and depression put an end to it all. That is his legacy, and all the fine homes and neighborhoods he built, still standing in fine condition all throughout our fine city.